Hi guys, good day and welcome to this class. In today's tutorial video, we shall be looking at graphical transformations in physics. How is this of help to us? It helps us linearize non-linear relationships in physics, and it helps us evaluate or picturize relationship between concepts in physics, and also it helps us identify constants in physics. Let's give an illustration. For instance, this is the period of oscillation of a simple pendulum. This is t equals 2 pi root L upon g. If we are to find the value of g, how do we transform this equation to enable us get the value of g? Of course, a direct plot of t against L will give us a curve, just as we can see here. When we plot t versus L, it gives us what? A curve. But when we plot t square, this is t against L, it gives us a curve. But when we plot t square, this is t square against L, it gives us a straight line. So our interest is to find a straight line such that we can find the slope. So how do we now transform this equation so that we'll be able to make it look like a straight line? Of course, the equation of a straight line is depicted as mx plus c. So let us transform this so that it will be in this form. So we have that t square, we square both sides. We have 4 pi square L upon g. So that we have something like this, 4 pi square GL. You now see that this is now looking like an equation of what? A straight line. This is y equals mx plus c. In this case now, the intercept is 0. So of course, you now see that t and L are the variables. So once we plot t square on the vertical axis and L on the horizontal, we can always get the slope, which will enable us find the g. So the slope is m equals 4 pi square upon g. So if we cross multiply, we have mg equals 4 pi square. So if you have got the slope, you can always make the subject of the formula so that you get what? You can always make g subject of the formula and evaluate the value of g, having got the what? The slope. So this is one of the reasons why we transform equations in physics before plotting graph. So once we linearize it, it can help us find the slope of the graph, and from the slope of the graph, we can also get other informations from the graph. Now let us look at other examples. Look at this example here. So this example is asking us uh, to linearize this and also find the value of g. This should be positive and this should be positive. So it's asking us to find the value of what? G. So if you do the same, just following the previous transformation that I have done, you get that this is possible. This is the transformed version of this. So once we plot L against t square, if we plot L against t square, what are we having? If we plot L against t square, we have a straight line graph, which will help us evaluate the what? The g. But a direct plot of t versus L, of course we know that t and L are the variables. A direct plot of t and L will give a curve, and we don't want that, because once we have a straight line graph, we can have a slope, which will help us evaluate g. So this is a transformed equation. Let us show how we got this. So if we still square both sides, we have t squared equals 4 pi square. This will be L minus, of course, h upon g. So we have 4 pi square L upon g minus 4 pi square h upon what? G. So going further, we want to make this subject of the formula, because we are asked to plot L against T square. L against T square. Also, we can't go ahead to do this without transforming it. So we have, if this crosses, you have T square minus 4 pi square L upon G. This is plus 4 pi square H upon G equals 0. So we want to make it still look like equation of what? A straight line. We want to make it look like equation of a straight line. Of course, we can't plot T square versus L because we are still having G here. Our interest is to evaluate G. The equation should read, plot a stable graph that will enable you evaluate G. So plotting T square against L won't be possible because, of course, we are still having G here. So in the intercept. So we want to make it look like this. So that's why we are plotting L against T square. So if we now make this subject of the formula, we have that minus 4 pi square L upon G equals minus T square minus 4 pi square H upon G. So if we multiply both sides by minus 1, we have 4 pi square L upon G equals T square minus, this will be plus now, plus 4 pi square H upon G. So you now see that we have L here and we have T square here. So, but this is not looking as our equation of straight line. So how do we go for that? We say multiply both sides by G upon 4 pi square. Once we do that, here we'll be having that L equals, this will cancel, so this will be T square times G upon 4 pi square, okay, plus this will also cancel, plus H. So you now see that it is now looking like this. So a plot of L against T square will give you this as the slope. Of course, this is now looking like this. If we now say L equals, this is G upon 4 pi square, this is now T plus H. So the slope is this, while the intercept is what? H. So we can always now find the acceleration due to gravity by equating the slope with this. This is G upon 4 pi square. So once you know the value of the slope, you can always find the G. So G will now be m times 4 pi square. So once you get the slope, you can always find the acceleration due to gravity. So as I've said earlier, this is one of the reasons why we transform equations in physics before plotting the graph. So we transform equations in physics in order to find constants or to answer the given question. If we solve it the way it is given, it's going to give us a curve, and we will not be able to give proper account of what we are looking for. So going further, we can always look at other examples. Another example is this. This is another example. Consider this, where T and, in this case, this will be T and M. This will be T and M. T and M are variables. T and M are variables. M0G and K are constants. Given that M equals Kx, deduce the value of M0, K, and what? G. So of course, transforming this again, and given that the values of M is this, the masses. You have different masses that give different extensions. These are the period, and this is the period square. If we plot a graph after transformation, of course we did this in our previous class. I have transformed this equation in our previous class. So if you transform the equation, you'll be having that this is possible. So once we plot a graph of M against, this is M against X. we get the value of k. This k is a spring constant. So of course, you now see that transforming graph helps us get value of constant. So if we now get the value of k and we transform this equation and get that this is possible, and we plot a graph of m against t square, we now have this as our slope. So this is the slope now. So if we equate the slope to this, we can always find the value of g, having found the value of k. So what we now do here is that we replace the value of k gotten here into this and make g subject of the formula. If we make g subject of the formula, we now get the acceleration due to gravity. And to get the m0 is the intercept. Look at this. This will be the what? Intercept. So this is how to get the value of what? Constant. So you do this by transforming the equation. So if you don't transform the equation, most equations in physics are in curve form. And in order to get the value or the correct relationship between quantities, you need to what? Transform it. For instance, when we solve that of period of oscillation of a simple pendulum, look at this. If one is to now ask you what is the relationship between this and this, you now see that t varies. Okay, so from the transformed equation we have that t square varies with L. T square varies with L. So we need to what? Transform this in order to make this what? Possible. So let's go further. Going further, we have other examples. These examples are this. For instance, now we have that the equation that relates EMF of a battery with resistance is given as this, where I and R are variables, and other quantities, these are quantities. Other quantities may be taken as what? Other quantities may be taken as constant. How do we obtain the EMF of the battery? So how do we obtain the EMF of the battery? Before we do this, we still need to transform the equation. How do we transform it? So if we make I subject of the formula, it will be, we divide both sides by, okay, let's write the equation. Have that E equals I bracket R plus R. So to make I subject to the formula, let's divide through by R plus R. This is R plus R. This is, the small r is the internal resistance of the battery. So once we do this, we have this. We have that I equals E upon R plus what? R. So if we find the inverse of the current, it will be 1 upon I, and we invert this too. So this is R plus R upon E. So going further, we have that I, 1 upon I equals R upon E. This will be R upon what? E. You now see that this is looking as the equation of straight line. Y equals mx plus what? C. So we can now write that 1 upon I equals, this will be, we are told that R and I are what? Variables. I and R are variables. So we have that this is 1 upon E bracket R plus R upon E. So once we plot graph of inverse of the current on the vertical axis against the resistance, we find the EMF of the cell. So the slope will give us the EMF. So what we do now is that M times E equals what? 1. So E equals 1 upon what? M. So the inverse of the slope gives us the EMF of the battery. So these are the importance of graphical transformation. Of course, a direct plot of I against R will not give us what we are looking for. So this is very helpful in physics, and if you want to still learn further on how this equations are transformed, you should check our previous video. So you should try this as assignment. Transform this equation and transform these equations and plot a stable graph. This is plot and plot a stable graph that would enable us to obtain the focal length of a lens. So where u and v are variables. This is the object distance, this is the image distance, this is the focal length. Number 2, given that sine I upon sine r equals this, give a transformed equation. This is give a transformed equation that will enable one get the value of the refractive index. So what we do to get the refractive index? This is the angle of incidence and this is the angle of refraction. Number 3, transform this equation giving its equivalent x and y axis and the slope. So with what we have learned before now, you should be able to do this. If you have actually enjoyed this class, give it a like and share it with your learning colleagues. And don't forget to subscribe for more updates like this. Thank you so much for listening and do have a wonderful day.